Hi everybody, I wanted to do a video about the court cases I'm following. It's not that I forgot to do a video. I had a lot of information input yesterday, and I had to take some time to figure out how I wanted to word everything when I said it, because when I first see something, and this happens with anything I see, a court case, a movie, a TV show, whatever, I have my initial reactions, and usually when my initial reactions, I don't have my filter on. So that's when you hear all the curse words and you know. So I try to calm down before I do any videos, so I don't always look like a lunatic. Okay. So yesterday was day 9 of the Colin Gray trial here in Georgia. And let me say, I didn't know. Okay, my initial uh, reaction or whatever in the beginning of the trial was, I don't know, he may or may not be guilty. I was on the fence. But now we're at day 10. Yesterday was day 9. And there was some very damning information that came in. Okay, two pieces that I remember right off the top of my head. Okay, there was a text message, a chain of text messages that show that apparently Colt and Colin were having an argument um, about whatever from before. And so Colin, the one on trial for this one, says, well, you can't react in a bad way every time something doesn't go your way. And I'm working hard for the family. And whenever you want something, I try to get it as soon as possible. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of like weird that you would have that in text messages, but okay. So then, right after that, they show another text message with an attachment showing what Colin bought for his son. Okay, what he bought was a tactical vest that you use when you're going to, I guess, use a weapon. I would guess. I don't know anything. Okay, like that. And so I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then, um, okay, here's the most damning piece of information for me personally. That when I saw it, I was like, what the? Okay, so the fallen, the the father, Colin, said, help for troubled teen in whatever location. I'm like, whoa. Okay, so for me, the crux of the case is, how culpable is the father for what the son did? Okay, that's your ultimate question there. Okay, how you come to a conclusion is whatever information is put in and how you filter it, right? Okay, so for me, and I know I've said this before, I'm not a parent. I'm not a parent to anybody, and so I don't have that lens. And I'm well aware of it, okay? But I'm saying that if you put in a search like that, then you have to know somewhere in your head that there's something wrong with that boy. Okay, if you have that as your guide, then you shouldn't be buying him stuff that would promote him to possibly, I don't know, do that. Just doesn't make any common sense. I'm sorry. Doesn't pass the test. So, okay. So now we're on day 10 today. And one of the burning questions, as always, is the defendant going to come up and testify in his own defense? Now, I've had some differing opinions about it, because I said, well, for the most part, it doesn't go in your favor. But the jury is supposed to not hold it against you if you don't. Now, in the last case I covered, which was the Tara Baker case, which was the cold case, it totally went not in his favor when he didn't testify, because I guess the jury assumed that he was trying to hide his guilt, or I don't know what. But anyway, it didn't go in his favor that he didn't testify. So when I saw him on the stand today, I was like, oh no, I don't know how this is going to turn out for you, man. I really don't. I don't know. So, okay, you're up to date on that one. Okay, now, for Corey Richards. Okay, now, also, the reason I didn't do a video for Corey Richards, especially yesterday, was this is a case that's only in day 5, or day 5 today. Okay, but from day 1, I was like, what the is wrong with these people? Okay, but I got some facts, so I feel better. All right, so the attorney for Corey Richards is a court-appointed attorney, which means in the U.S., I don't know how it is in other countries. In the U.S., if you can't afford an attorney, they have to provide one for you. They have to. But if you get a court-appointed attorney, you run the risk of them being overworked or not experienced, or you run a whole lot of risk when you go that way. Okay, why would I throw somebody under the bus? I'm not trying to throw somebody under the bus. I'm just saying what I see with my eyes, and also what common sense is like screaming at me. Okay. One day, the attorney showed up in a pink suit. I'm not kidding. Okay, if you guys, any women, and maybe some guys, have seen Legally Blonde, that color pink. The woman was in that color pink, a suit. I said, what the? You don't do that. Black, blue, white, I don't know, something neutral, not hot pink. Okay? Because the jury, whether or not you want to believe it, they judge you based on appearance. Yes, it shouldn't happen, but it happens all the time. Okay, so if you want your defendant to look demure, whatever, then wouldn't you want the same for your attorney? Okay, but getting off of that, that's point 1. Point 2, because I'm building something here. Point 2 is, I am not a lawyer. I'm a layperson. I know a couple things about the law because I watch a lot of law stuff, and I watch like court things all the time. So you pick up the language, okay? And you pick up how things are supposed to go, procedures and stuff like that. When I feel like I know your case better than you do, we got a problem. Okay, number 3. Literally yesterday, there was a witness of, first of all, I got to talk about witnesses too. Okay, so part 3 or whatever. Witnesses. Some witnesses are good witnesses and some witnesses are bad witnesses. Okay, what am I talking about here? Talking about some people know that they're going to be on the stand and what kind of their job is. And some people are just like, F you, I'm not doing it. Okay, case in point. There was a chick yesterday, the crime scene technician. She had a face on her like she did not want to be there, and she did not answer the questions, and she had this smirk on her face the entire time that said, you are an idiot and I don't like you. And I know this because I have used that smirk sometimes. Not very often, but sometimes. Okay? This chick was reading I don't want to be here all over her body. Okay. Then the next witness is the medical examiner, like one of the medical examiners, and she's talking about all the, how they do the bodies and stuff. So I kind of X'd on that one, but man, she went into real detail. But like, here's your juxtaposition: your bad witness and your good witness. Okay. So that was it. Day 5. Now we're on day 5. And to be honest, I haven't seen the whole trial today because I've been doing other stuff. But for the most part, I think that they're talking to the snitch, in quotes, because I don't know. I guess they don't have anybody else. So anyway, so then they get into, don't you have text messages with somebody? I forget the name. And she's like, no. But I'm like, why can't they get the text messages? Because they have technology where they can get your old text messages. So it makes no sense. So this case has gone from like what to a cluster F to it makes no sense. There you go. I give you 5 days of testimony, kind of in a nutshell. I tried. Bye, everybody.